I hurt myself today to see if I saw Logan. It was good. It was a good film. I won't get into, it's a top 5 superhero movie ever. Here's the thing about Logan. It's not set up like a superhero movie. It doesn't have the tone of a superhero movie. Hell, it's not even really shot or written as a superhero movie. If you want to look at Logan in terms of a genre, it's kind of like a Western. You ever see those like The Shootist with John Wayne? You know? By the way, this is spoilers. Spoilers. I don't want to hear like I have the spoilers. The shoot and Shootist spoilers. The Shootist was John Wayne's last film, like that in True Grit. You know, he's older, but he knows the end is near. The thing with The Shootist, in real life, he knew the end was near, and the characters was too, which is why that's one of the better John Wayne films in general. But with Logan, he knows the end is near. It's the future. His self-healing is breaking down. It's revealed that it's because the adamantium is a poison in his system that's attached to his bones, which makes sense when you think about it. It's like a heavy metal poisoning. Yeah, his healing powers, sort of put it off for, 100 years or more, whenever he was supposed to have been born, early 1900s, late 1800s, I don't know. But finally, it's catching up to him. He's aging a little bit more because his super healing factor it just means he's slower to age. So, we see some brutality in this film that helps illustrate this. In the first scene of the movie, he has like a limo service, which is great. For some reason, it sort of fits. He just has a limo and he's driving around, girls, bridesmaids, bachelorette party, overprivileged, frat boys out in Vegas, or was it Vegas or it was like Reno? Anyway, so there's a scene in the opening where it's like some sort of a Mexican gang near the border jumps him for his limo. And I guess I thought he was dead or whatever. He springs back and he fights him off. Very brutal. We're talking legs and hands being chopped off. We're talking slices in the neck and the face. This is really the first time we're seeing true blood and gore in a Wolverine portrayal. And this is the, let's see, 3, 6, 7. This is like the 8th time we're seeing a full portrayal of Logan on film, not counting cameos, which is important. We're talking the 3 X-Men movies. We're talking X-Men not X-Men First Class, Days of Future Past, and we're talking the 3 Wolverine solo movies. That's 7. Was he in X-Men Apocalypse? I don't know. I didn't see that. That's not supposed to be a good one. Anyway, so this is more like a Western, like I said, in terms of its. There's not action wall to wall. There's sort of 3 main set pieces in the film, if you don't even count the original scene. But it's gritty. It's down to earth. He's really the only. Before I get into the other spoilers, he's really the only real superhero in the film. In terms of, like this, it's not like you have a team of X-Men around him. You do have Professor Xavier, but for the most part, this is just a grounded sort of thriller escape movie. They're on the move always. And it was highly enjoyable because of the character moments. Hugh Jackman embodies the role. What I like about Hugh Jackman is, besides him getting into ripped shape for all his movies, which is hell in and of itself, he never put down the Wolverine character or the fans, he never bitched and moaned, I gotta get into shape. He realized what an honor it was to play this beloved character for almost 20 years. It's remarkable for anyone to play a fictional character for that long. It's extremely rare to do that. Kelsey Grammer did that with Frasier. He did it for 16 years or so. Speaking of X-Men, he was Beast in X-Men 3. That was awful. But it's rare for that to happen, especially in a superhero movie, to have a character keep going. And yes, you can complain that, the X-Men movies basically were Wolverine movies, and that is a valid complaint. It's one of the reasons why I do have a problem with the X-Men movies, is that, they're really not a team ensemble. There's always, it's a team, but really the big character arcs is Logan. He is the most popular X-Men character. I can see the reason why. That does bother me. Maybe they'll rectify that in future X-Men movies or X-Force, whatever they're doing. Alpha Flight, maybe, I don't know. But I like that you had a real arc with Logan. He's realizing that, you know, maybe family is important, because something bad happened with the X-Men, which you piece together. Then they finally kind of say it, but Professor Xavier killed the X-Men. He killed them by accident, but he did. Something happened where he lost control because he was getting older, a senility or a brain aneurysm, but he killed the X-Men. Logan survived, and he realized it wasn't Xavier's fault, but he has to protect them. He loves Xavier. He's like a father to him, and it's sort of a reconnection of Logan with a family through Xavier, which is why I like the movie. But then also it's on the nose, but X-23 is his, based upon his DNA, is his biological daughter. So X-23 is played by Daphne Keane, Laura. Great performance, understated, has about like 8 lines of dialogue in the whole film. Ferocious, you buy it. You buy it. This little kid's a killer. It's not just, yeah, I don't get it. Oh yeah, you see her decapitate sort of a mohawk wearing a drone soldier of what's his name in the movie? Guy with the metal arm. Of Pierce. So you sort of see the development of the bond between Logan and Laura, who's X-23. And then Logan goes out like a champ. It's not sad. I mean, it's sad to see a death of a superhero in a movie. Spoilers. But the way that it happens with Logan, he has a complete character arc. He has a purpose. He's basically saving a new set of mutants in the world. That in this movie, they're almost all dead. So he saves a new set of mutants. His death has a purpose. It's poetic. He dies in front of his daughter. He relearns the meaning of family. He goes out like a champ. I was in tears. Everyone in the theater was in tears. If you're going to go out, you go out with the best. This is the best movie, of the Wolverine trilogy. I liked the Wolverine, the second film. The first one was obviously garbage. I liked the second one. It wasn't perfect. It had its problems. This one is obviously the best by far, and it's probably the best in terms of just cinematic quality, how it's shot, how it's written, of the other 6 X-Men movies. X2 was great. The first X-Men was okay. Third X-Men was not good. And then, I haven't seen Apocalypse, but Days of Future Past was good, and First Class was pretty good. But this in terms of quality, rewatchability, in terms of this being good, not even just as a superhero movie, as its own movie. Like I said, it's like a Western. No complaints at all about it. Action was all good, even though it's sort of limited to a few different scenes. I am very happy that the big surprise about X-24, basically the younger Hugh Jackman, which is basically Hugh Jackman not with aged makeup, fighting himself. You basically get to see the ripped Wolverine from past films fighting the older Wolverine, who's dying, and his healing isn't working as well as it used to. And they kept that a secret in the trailers. Thank God. Because one of the reasons I didn't want to go see that Terminator movie from a year and a half back or last year, whatever it was, they gave away young Arnold Terminator in the freaking commercials and trailer. Thankfully, they didn't do that here. So that was pretty much a shock to the audience to see young Logan, or younger Logan / X-24, really, kill Professor Xavier and then fight old man Logan. Like, that was a surprise. I didn't see that. I mean, did I see it coming in terms of there being an X-24? Well, there was a shot to the laboratory of a hunky leg inside the the Project Weapon X aquarium. So you knew there was going to be an X-24. I just didn't realize it was going to be a straight clone to that extent. And it was sort of shocking how it happened in that moment. Speaking of Professor X, though, Patrick Stewart, his last performance as Charles Xavier, fantastic, nuanced, sad, joyful in a way. He goes out well at the same time. So I'm really interested to see what they do in terms of the upcoming properties. But I really wish that obviously Marvel would buy the X-Men property back for film or co-produce like Sony's doing with Marvel Studios for Spider-Man. I don't see it happening though because there's still acrimony there. I saw a rumor that they're going to try to do another fucking Fantastic Four movie. God, that's going to put Frank into the ground. Jesus Christ. Be Frank's final film. Be him trying to get to a Fantastic Four. So I'm just happy that it was a quality film. Hugh Jackman, kudos. Put up with a lot of hell getting in shape for that character. Never bitched or complained about it once. Class act all the way. People were complaining about you being Logan at first because you weren't, 5'3", 220 pounds. You're what are you, 6'1", 6'2". But now no one's gonna imagine. It's gonna be like you're now the Sean Connery of the Wolverine character. There'll be another Wolverine on film at some point, whether it's 5 or 10 years. It'll happen, and people will say, "Oh, it doesn't compare to Hugh Jackman." The same way Roger Moore was a huge step down from Sean Connery. George Lazenby was okay. He only had one film. I told him he should have done more in person. But anyway. So go out and see Logan if you haven't. I think it's well worth your time, even if you don't like the character itself, or even if you haven't liked the other Wolverine or X-Men movies. It was well done, and it'll bring a little tear to your eye.